Welcome, mortals, to this wretched Friday. Today is October 26, 2018, and I'm Asia Taylor bringing you up to date with your Charger Nation news. A very dark holiday is approaching us. Maybe you want to know about the dreadful start of how it all began. Here's CNTV reporter Elizabeth Preuss to enlighten you.
The history of Halloween is one you may not be well acquainted with. However, there is still history to this holiday, and it's a history that's quite interesting. Halloween began as the Celtic festival of Shaman. The festival commemorated the day in which spirits would come into our world, as the boundary between our two worlds was believed to be at its lowest point. To ward off the spirits, people would dress in gruesome costumes in hopes of scaring them off, and to appease the spirits, many would leave out food for them as well. These traditions soon collided with the Christian holiday All Saints' Day, as the festival was celebrated in countries where Christianity was practiced. The Festival of Shaman soon became known as All Hallows' Eve. It contained the same traditions, however new traditions were introduced, traditions like soul cakes. As the years passed, so did the name of All Hallows' Eve. The name was dropped as a more favored name was introduced, Halloween. This name was introduced by Robert Burns in his poem of the same name. Soon Halloween migrated with the people who traveled here to America. With the times Halloween evolved, soul cakes became candies to give to anyone dressed up instead of the spirits. Things like the term trick-or-treat also began to emerge in modern vocabulary. However, terms like this also had more questionable backgrounds, as there are no previous mentions of this term in Christian nor Celtic traditions. Business Insider insists the term was created by fully grown men who wanted to simply play tricks on people, while History.com believes it was created by desperate women who played tricks in hopes of getting good-looking husbands. Whatever the reason, we have our beloved holiday, and this has been your CNTV reporter, Elizabeth Preuss.
How dreary. For this approaching Halloween, you've probably made some accursed plans. No matter what, it's probably best you stay alive. Reporter Hal Eppinger has some daunting tips just for you.
Hey there, South Haven. Halloween is coming. Are you ready to go trick-or-treating? Here are some tips to make your Halloween safe and fun. Stay on the sidewalks. The thrill of holiday often factors into accidents as kids rush from door to door. Keep children on the sidewalks and shepherd them carefully when they need to cross the road. If you enter an area without sidewalks, walk on the far edge of the road facing traffic. Check candy for choking hazards like gum and hard candies. Throw away any candy that has not been sealed by a wrapper or is homemade from strangers. Costume safety tips. Choose bright, visible costumes. When selecting a costume, opt for the bright color outfits and add a touch of reflective tape to make them more visible to motorists. Lastly, don't forget to make sure they're equipped with a flashlight or a glow stick. Make sure costumes are well fitted and safe. Being visible isn't the only safety consideration for a costume. The right fit is just important. Here are some advice on keeping your relatives' assemblies safe and secure. Prevent accident, tripping, or entanglement by making sure your costumes aren't too big or too long. Avoid masks that block vision, but if someone wears one, it should have large eyes with nose and a mouth opening. You can also use makeup for a better alternative. Costume wigs and accessories should contain a label indicating that they are flame resistant and that when you use such things as swords, things that are not sharp or too long. Makeup safety. If makeup is part of your relative's Halloween costume plans, make sure it's non-toxic and test it in a small area first. Jack-o'-lantern safety. Young children can paint or color their pumpkins instead of carving, or have them draw a face with markers and have an adult carve them. Use colorful glow sticks inside your jack-o'-lanterns instead of candles to prevent fires. House decoration safety. If you're turning your house into a haunted house, keep safety in mind. Make sure your steps and sidewalks, porches, and pathways are all well lit and free of decoration and holiday props. Unfortunately, vandalism often increases during Halloween. That's why taking these precautions is a good idea. If you're going away during Halloween, make it seem like you're still home by turning down the volume of your answering machine and phone, covering your page windows, and leaving your curtains in a normal position with valuables out of sight. Install outdoor lighting to illuminate the area around your home during Halloween. Consider purchasing a security system that directly alerts the police of intruders. Trim bushes and large trees before Halloween so trespassers have fewer hiding spots. Car and driving safety tips. Use extra caution while driving. Drivers need to take peculiar care of this chaotic night. Keep your car parked if you can, but if you have to drive through a neighborhood, take it in a much slower than normal speed. Watch for kids who may dart in between cars into the road without looking. Protect your car. Cars are another common target of vandalism on Halloween. Here are some ways you can help secure your car. Park inside your garage. If you do not have a garage, you may want to consider investing in some outdoor lighting for your driveway and yard. Make sure your car is locked on Halloween. Oftentimes, vandals complete their mission with ease when doors are unlocked and windows are down/cracked. Test your car alarm and see if you can hear it. Hide your valuables on Halloween by placing it under your seat or in your home if you don't have any room. Don't give these thieves any extra incentive to break into your car, and have a safe Halloween.
That's all I have on safety tips. Now y'all have a safe Halloween. And whatever you do, during your Halloween vacation or trip, don't say spider milk.
Bullying hurts.
It's mentally draining.
Makes me feel weaker.
Restricts me from being myself.
Affects me every day.
I shouldn't be scared to come to class.
Dress how I want.
Open my mouth to speak.
Express myself to my peers.
Be who I want to be.
If you see I'm not okay, reach out to me.
Stop being a bystander.
Raise your voice when you say that I cannot.
Treat me how I want to be treated.
Respect my feelings.
Just because you don't understand me doesn't give you the right to judge me.
Would you be proud to walk around with the words you've said to me on your skin?
What do you gain for publicly humiliating me?
When will this end? Because I'm sick and tired of not feeling good enough.
Why do you think it's okay to tear me down like I'm nothing?
Enough is enough.
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 There's a certain Halloween tradition that you may partake in. It involves a very, very large knife. Pumpkin carving. Here's CNTV reporter Chase Paul going through the steps of carving your very own pumpkin.
Hello everyone. Today we'll be cutting a pumpkin. Now, one of the first things to know about when cutting a pumpkin is that you always want to cut at an angle. Cutting straight down will leave the top of your pumpkin unable to be placed back on. Alright, so we're going to start with that process now. Now, when cutting into a pumpkin, it's going to be a little hard, so you don't really want a flimsy knife like this. I'm going to get a bigger knife. I think this one will do. Okay, when cutting into a pumpkin, make sure it's at an angle, like this. Alright, let's start. Make contact. Now be careful when pulling it out. My best way to explain this, if you've never actually carved a pumpkin, the insides, they feel all disgusting. It's like dipping your hand in wet pasta. It's just gross. Alexa, tell me a pumpkin fact.
While seeded vegetables, like pumpkins, are considered vegetables for culinary use, they are botanically fruits.
Did you know that pumpkins are actually fruits? Alright, I just washed myself off a little bit. Here are my stencils. Be sure to figure out what you want before you start to cut. I went for classic South Haven Chargers. And, of course, very own CNTV symbol. So, Be sure to cut it out to an appropriate size and then tape it. Follow along with it with maybe a stencil, paper, pencil, Alright, let's re-record that. You cut your stencil, be sure to follow along with a pencil. Mechanical pencils will do. Alright, just follow your guidelines. And be sure that you know exactly what you're going to cut. Just finished with the SC. Now it's time to carve. Try and cut away from yourself at all times. And I'm going to throw it to Asia with her pumpkin.
What a wonderful use of a knife. Now here's Jordan Osmer to discuss how we plan to devastate our rivals.
Hey Chargers, I'm Jordan Osmer, here with your sports. Last Saturday, our swim team traveled to Cleveland, Mississippi to compete in North Half. Matt Fisk finished 8th in his 50-free heat. Tyler Jarowski took 5th in his heat. Sage Koska finished 5th in her heat in 50 freestyle, and Nancy Weinberger finished 7th in her heat. Congrats to the swim team. Our band traveled this weekend to compete at the Liberty Bowl. Congrats to them as they placed 4th overall. Basketball season is right around the corner. Tuesday night we held Meet the Chargers, where we introduced all our basketball players, including our middle school teams. Last Friday, our varsity football team took on South Panola. Unfortunately, they lost with a score of 17-7, with Jeremiah Kimbrough scoring our only touchdown of that night. Tonight is senior night as we take on DeSoto Central. We will recognize all our senior football players, senior dancers, senior cheerleaders, and our senior Palm Squad members. DeSoto Central has never won a game on our field and has been outscored by us 173 points to 58 points over the last 12 years. Let's keep our winning streak against DC tonight. Good luck. Now back to Asia with your news.
Isn't that delightful? Here's Kara Ousley to tell you all about the disastrous weather.
Hey Chargers, it's time for your weekend weather. Today we'll have scattered showers with a low of 45 degrees and a high of 57 degrees. Saturday will be partly cloudy with a low of 49 degrees and a high of 65 degrees. Sunday will also be partly cloudy with a low of 45 degrees and a high of 74 degrees. That's all for your weekend weather, and I hope you have a happy Halloween.
This has been your Charger Nation News. If you aren't busy the day before Halloween, the school is having its own trunk or treat in the teacher's parking lot. You can bring relatives up to 12 years old to have a ghastly time playing games and winning candy. And you don't have to wait another grueling week to get information about what's happening. You can follow our Instagram and Snapchat. And remember, never ever say spider milk.